Hey Greysteel Nation, Sully here with the Barbell Prescription. We got a little bit of a different kind of thing tonight. I'm recording as usual from Greysteel Clinic in Farmington, Michigan. But this is not one of our real produced episodes. Turns out I have a boo-boo. And we're not sure how this is all going to work out. I'm not sure what's going to become of me. But we thought maybe, just maybe, it might be instructive to sort of document what happens in this whole process. So here's the background. I just finished a pretty successful 3-month block of training. I've been experimenting with block programming for the last 9 to 12 months and really felt like through a process of trial and error I had nailed down a pretty good 3-month block program for myself, and the last 3-month block went really amazingly well. Smashed a bunch of PRs, strongest I've ever been in my life, stronger than I ever was as a younger man, even as a Marine. And it also included skill programming and conditioning work, so I was in pretty good metabolic health. Pretty happy with where my body composition ended up, and with my skill. My primary thing is karate, and my classical forms, my kata, were as good as they've been in many years, perhaps better than ever. So it was a pretty awesome block of training, and I was really looking forward to capitalizing on that with another 3-month block. So I was in a little bit of a deload week, and never had an injury that I was able to identify. There was nothing that that hurt me. I didn't have any misadventures under the bar or anywhere else. I woke up with pain in my left trap that felt like a cramp, and in fact there was a great big knot in my trap. And I tried to shake it off and took some Tylenol and some aspirin and did some stretching and massage and some heat and some cold and all the things that you do when you have something like that, and did some lifting, deload week lifting, still fairly heavy because I'm intensity dependent, and it didn't get better. And then I came in here to do a bench workout, and still on deload week, and did warm-ups at 45 pounds, and Scott, where was it that went catawamp? That was at 135 pounds, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it was at 135 pounds. I did a 135-pound warm-up, and the bar went catawampus on me. I couldn't get it up on the left side. I mean, not without a big lag anyway. And so I did what any reasonable person would do in those circumstances. I ignored it and tried again, and it did the same thing, and that's when I realized that I didn't just have a cramp, that quite probably I had a C7 radiculopathy. My triceps wasn't firing, and I had pain in the C7 distribution. So that sucks. The differential diagnosis for this includes a number of common and not so common and even malignant entities. But the most likely diagnosis would be a herniated cervical disc impinging on the C7 nerve root, resulting in pain in the C7 distribution and dysfunction in the C7 myotone, namely the triceps muscle. So I saw sports medicine. They agreed that probably a C7 nerve root could be like a more distal nerve entrapment syndrome. We tried some nerve hydrodissection therapy for that, which didn't really help, and we probably didn't really expect it to. And so based on the presumptive diagnosis of a C7 radiculopathy, I did a short course of steroids, which actually resulted in almost complete resolution of the pain. But when I tried to lift again, I was a little stronger. I was able to get up 155, 165 pounds, but it was at that level that things went catawampus again. And 165 pounds is just not that heavy for me. So that's a warm-up. That's a light warm-up, and it just went totally awry. Also having trouble with the press at 125 or 130 pounds, which is not that heavy for me. And squatting and deadlifting seemed to aggravate it. Also, I'm able to squat and deadlift and overhead press a certain amount, but then the next day, the pain really lights up in that distribution. So that's where things stand. Not good, quite vexing actually, and not quite sure what's going on yet. So we have an MRI scheduled, and unenhanced MRI of the cervical spine, and then we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm kind of stuck doing conditioning work and Tai Chi. I'm going to avoid overhead work in the short term until we get a diagnosis. And probably not going to do much squatting and deadlifting for the next week or so either, because it did seem to aggravate it, although I was able to, to do fairly heavy squats and deadlifts. But for now, I'm going to rest it using Tylenol and non-steroidals, and going to see what the MRI shows. And you can let us know if you think that if this is instructive as it goes on. We'll get a diagnosis on the MRI, and then we'll discuss the diagnosis, hopefully quite clinically. I'll be in an emotional state to discuss it dispassionately, and then I'll let you follow along with how we rehab this and hopefully get back to where I was, if I can. In the words of one of my colleagues, what are you going to do? Not train? I'm not going to not train. The question is, how is this going to affect my training and for how long? And we'll find out together. So, more to follow. Thanks for watching. Stay strong and stay healthy.